Smooth. Smooth, I know. Smooth, I know. I'm like that. Alright, let's get into it. Um, Pause the music. We'll just start with whatever video. These thumbnails fucking kill me, dude.
They basically wanted to end the deal early because they expected me to get thousands and thousands and to sign up through my affiliate code. That's what I'm saying. You only gave me 2 weeks. Y'all ready to bail after 2 weeks? If anything, my audience would not want to put it even more if a company just stopped with me after 2 weeks. I literally was just getting used to it. It's just how often do you guys see me with sponsors? So it's like, it was fun while it lasted. Yeah, also for the people that didn't hear earlier, I'm no longer partnered with the Sonic 2 company. I guess they wanted me to get thousands of niggas to sign up in 2 weeks. So they wanted to end the partnership early. Yeah, but
I don't know, let's continue.
But what they didn't understand is that my audience was new to like that. So
what they didn't understand is that most of his audience are bots. He's botted his numbers multiple times, and most of his audience are kids. So kids don't have money to gamble, and neither do the bots. So, oh shit, that's real funny. So they just ended the sponsorship. That's too funny.
So if my audience sees that you guys want to can it early, then they're not going to trust you in the first place. You can't just get hella niggas on board right off the bat for something they're not used to seeing. It's literally business 101. So, do you still get the leaderboard? Should I?
Oh, I forgot he got his business degree, guys.
Asked him. You know, it was the first the first Sonic the Hedgehog 2 sponsorship. You can't expect everybody to just hop on board in 2 weeks. It's just unrealistic. On top of that, you're not one of the known Sonic the Hedgehog 2 companies. So yeah, exactly. I needed more time. Facts. Like that's some shit you have to build. You just can't expect quick turnarounds. Like you gotta have you know what I mean? Why do I call it that? What's a Sonic the Hedgehog 2 sponsor? All right, let's just visually learn today. Like I said, in stream we like to talk a certain way, codes and blah 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 blah
blah. Oh, was it that free cash thing that he's been doing? The gambling. Bro's trying to advertise fucking casino gambling to his kid audience. That literally, what are they gonna use their parents' allowance to gamble a couple bucks and then lose it all? Fuck out of here. No one's signing up for that shit, bro. You're not boss man Jack. You don't got the pull like that, dude. This isn't your lane, dude. Try something else. It's too funny.
You get it?
No, I get it.
I mean, I'm only gonna try to get a sponsorship with people who want to get a sponsorship with me.
Oh,
that's usually how it works. You don't go out looking for it; they come out looking for you. Might be something else in the works though.
That's actually not true. That's actually very much not true. Bossman Jack was a fairly well-known gambling streamer. Begs, he goes to sponsorships lefts and rights, and he begs to get sponsored, and he gets sponsored. You know, he gets a deal because he has an audience that watch him all the time, and he can prove that with his analytics and all that stuff. You can't go to sponsors with your analytics because they'll see all that shit is botted, and they're like, "What the fuck? No, we're not giving you a sponsorship to fucking not get any pull." So that's very funny. But yes, you can go to sponsors and ask to get sponsored with proof of your analytics.
You say you could definitely do sales emails for sponsorships, but then they look at it like you're desperate.
No, they don't. Literally, no, they don't. It's if you have the proof to back it up. No, they don't.
So your leveraging power, it goes down. Like, well, you came to us, so why would you come to us and think that we should pay you for your time? They basically wanted to end the deal early because they expected me to get thousands of niggas to sign up through my affiliate code. And they didn't understand that my fan base does not do casino night zone streams. So the fact that they wanted a fucking turnaround in like 2 weeks is crazy work. It's unrealistic. You don't know. I guess they expected hundreds, thousands of people to be signing up. So it is what it is. Get another one. It was fun while it lasted. It wasn't even a scam though. The fuck? Doing Sonic the Hedgehog 2 streams is not a scam. I would never promote no shit like that. Make sure you guys hit that free cash link. Sponsorship, free cash. Sign up. Nobody's cashed out yet, which is crazy. Apparently it's free.
Wow.
Free cash for free. So 70 of you signed up and nobody's cashed out.
Nobody's cashed out. That's probably how he gets paid. That's too funny.
And it's not even like real promo. It's like, you guys know I would be doing it for a specific reason. I'm not telling you to go out there and be like Mark Wahlberg on that gambling movie. I didn't say do no shit like that. It's just more so like, all right, if you want to f with it, cool. But I'm not gonna be like, shit, hey, the thing about it, hey, y'all niggas, I need y'all to really lock in. First nigga to lock in. I got a whole Rolex for you. Think I'm lying? First nigga to drop that affiliate link.
That'd be better, LTG. That'd be some fucking content, dude. That'd be hilarious.
Right now today, I got a whole AP for you. Iced out, bust down. First nigga to do it, get it. Y'all think I'm playing? I got an AP right here. Like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't on no shit like that. It's just how often do you guys see me with sponsors? So it's like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. You only gave me 2 weeks. I'm like, bro, these niggas, y'all ready to bail after 2 weeks? All right. I can't convince. If anything, my audience would not want to fuck with it even more if a company just stopped fucking with me after 2 weeks. Why would you stay over there and you know what I'm saying? And risk spending money or even making money if you seen a company just said fuck it in 2 weeks? You're not going to trust that shit. It is what the fuck it is. 2 weeks is not enough to convince a whole fucking fan base that never seen me do something before to rock with it when we live in very skeptical times. Shit, I'm lucky that people signed up that did. Shit. Bro, that free cash shit was bullshit though. Like, took them niggas like 5 months to pay me a fucking part-time paycheck. Like, I had to keep contacting them just for like some money that like really
I think it was bugging companies for like what? Like $200. He never got the last 200. They never gave him the last 200. So he kept bugging them. Hey man, where's my money at? They're like, it's this dude again. Shit, that's too fucking funny, LTG. He got like half a paycheck. Barely. Oh, it's too funny.
He didn't even do anything. At that point, I just wanted it just because it was basically promised to me because I sat there and promoted that shit. Hopefully I get another one coming soon, but I pretty much knew that was going to happen anyway. The thing is, when you're an unknown Sonic the Hedgehog 2 company, people are going to be like, people only know like a couple of Sonic the Hedgehog 2 companies, the ones that are always out there. RB or let me get some Wagyu steak. So it's like, you know, before I did that, you know, no disrespect, but before I did that Sonic the Hedgehog 2 company, I didn't know who the fuck they were. So if anything, more people know about it in general because I fucking put the shit out there. I didn't even know how to play blackjack before that. I literally learned blackjack the first week. I never played blackjack in my life. The only card game I ever knew was Go Fish and Match. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, the Sonic streams were getting fun. Like I got people that was like, yo, you doing Sonic 2 today? I'm like, yeah. And then as soon as you guys got used to it,
that is very funny. One sec. Let me adjust the volumes over here. He was getting hooked on gambling. They should have let him. They should have let him get hooked on that gamba. And then we get some good content from Lowtiergod gambling streams. Him not affording rent. Just getting kicked out by Ferris. Because he spent it all gambling the night before. That'd be good, but they had to go cancel him because they couldn't make money off the nigga.
Never played blackjack in my life. The only card game I ever knew was Go Fish and Match. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, the Sonic streams were getting fun. Like I got people that was like, yo, you doing Sonic 2 today? I'm like, yeah. And then as soon as you guys got used to it, niggas pulled the plug. Yeah, but we should have Sonic the Hedgehog, just like somebody else said in chat. Hopefully we have Sonic the Hedgehog 3 coming soon. They pulled it because they expected me to get thousands of niggas to sign up via my referral in 2 weeks. That's why. They wanted an unrealistic flip. Yeah, bro. It's just like, you know. I literally was just getting used to it to the point where I was like, oh shit, I gotta do my little Sonic the Hedgehog 2 stream. Ooh.
That's too
And
funny.
then I'm just doing my job. They call, they're like, oh, such and such wants to see you in the office. Go in the office. She's like, so, you know, he's firing you. I said, what you mean he's firing me? I said, he said he wasn't gonna fire me. He was just basically, and it had security right there, like I was gonna make a scene. So yeah, so he's firing you for stealing company time. I said, why the fuck would he have you fire me? How come he didn't fucking fire me his damn self? She's like, I don't know. She's like, don't get mad at me, but yeah, Vince is firing you, so I need you to sign these papers. I was like, man, give me these fucking papers. Good luck. Oh yeah, I'm playing 6. I will need it, huh? Forgot. My skill doesn't mean nothing in this game. Damn. You know what? You're right. Elmer School combos and stepdaddy combos incoming.
All he said was good luck, bro. Relax.
These niggas got me playing a fucking modern player.
I'm thinking of some other lolcows that I want to watch. And my shitty ass PC, dude. What does it get fucking hot for, dude? Oh. 1 second. Look for some lolcows back here.
Bro, I'm not playing this shit. Yeah, there should be an option to turn these pussy ass retards off. One button this, one button that. I'm not playing no nigga playing in modern. I just realized the nigga was modern. I'm cool, bro. And it's a troll. First person I play is a fucking worthless retard ass troll. Another mash and neutral, blah, blah, blah. Another mash and jump neutral idiot. Look at this player, bro. Look at this dude. Look at this fucking player. And I'm at half life already from someone who literally is a fucking garbage mash and idiot. Look at this dude.
1 second. There's a fucking video back here that I might want to play.
Did you know, actually, every once in a while, Korean directors will wake up and start cooking the most unhinged dating show concept known to mankind. And then, right, instead of leaving it as a fever dream, they will actually follow through and make it real. So now we have dosing and moso. What does that translate to, you may ask? Okay, everybody, gamble of the day. Will Google Translate be able to translate? Alright, it is not that. Dating, boarding school, divorce, and single. That's what it would be. But because it is so underground, it doesn't even have an English translation. So officially, it is still dosing and moso. In my books, that's how I know I've struck gold. Now, to put it simply, this show exists solely for the purpose of challenging the status quo. Because, hey, why not? Aren't you tired of skill-based matchmaking? Because frankly, I am. I prefer watching people communicate on the wrong wavelength. My other hobby includes stepping on Legos. How about we move closer to the middle of the bell curve? We give everybody an equal voice. So in my opinion, Divorce and Single exists to give you that perspective. Because the show consists of 6 women in their mid-30s to 40s, all of whom have recently gone through a proper divorce.
That is very, Korean culture in general, or Asian culture, have this, like, like the dating scene is bad here, but it's like so much worse over there. It's not even funny. And like divorcees, like Asian middle-aged angry divorcees matched up with like what is it? Choi boy. There's a word for like egghead. There's literally an Asian word for egghead. Egghead nerds that have like are virgins, don't have barely ever talked to chicks. It's so I kind of want to watch it. It sounds like horrible. It sounds horrible.
And just when they've mustered up the courage to finally step into the dating market, this program then puts them with 6 men who have been single since birth. That's actually what the term moso or Mote solo here on this poster actually stands for, which literally just translates to single since conceived in the mother's womb. Hey, I mean, as far as being single comes, that is literally as far back as it goes.
Yeah.
What could possibly go wrong with a matchup like this, you may ask? Well, why don't
Everything.
we start off by introducing the men in the show, which is clearly why the people are watching. I don't know, I feel like maybe all these guys on this dating program are just head in the clouds type of people. Me, on the other hand, I don't think so. At least
See, like the fucking like it's sad. The thing I want to say is it's sad people who don't discover their personality before they get into their like 20s and 30s, you know what I mean? Don't discover what it is to be funny, cuz people have you can be introverted and still be outgoing type shit. And this guy would do fine on that dating show. He's got enough charisma to make it through, but virgins, like Korean virgins?
It's not when it comes to learning a new language. LingoPie has me covered every time. Dating is like learning a
Like,
new
I'm not doing that.
relation, and all the tools around it, like the flashcards, are really just there to help.
Bro. Okay, maybe I'll do that for a fucking dude. Learning languages is so fucking difficult. Fuck that shit, dude. Maybe some other time.
Which is a big step for somebody who's never been on a date. Couldn't we have started on Tinder Gold? I heard that's big in Korea, actually. Or, you know, the local settings on Kakao Talk. I don't know. You really threw him in the deep end, sis. And oh my goodness, when this man first came through the door, dude, giggling the whole time. Shit, he cannot help himself at all. No, really, I am just genuinely happy for this guy. Because look how excited he is just to be here. If this
Yeah, he's not half bad. He's just a little creepy. A little creepy now that I think about it, but it's just a normal looking dude. Maybe if he could control the giggling and the smiling and like he'd be fine.
one thing Rookie knows is that he's about to have a good time with the ladies. So Rookie describes himself as a little timid and doesn't really enjoy socializing with people, which is a valid take. And apparently he is so inexperienced, he only recently just learned what the word flirting truly meant, only because he started watching dating shows. And then he gave us a few examples of the shows that he is currently watching, and then he tells us he's been learning a few tricks just by watching these reality shows.
Oh,
right? So then the
no.
production team had him demonstrate his flirting technique on the spot to give us an example. And hey, that's where Rookie pulls out the forbidden Riz.
Why is every Asian show just some type of humiliation ritual? I've noticed that. Whether it's like a game show, dating show, it's just like some form of weird cursed fucking ancient curse humiliation ritual type shit.
너 많이 귀엽다?
Oh!
You know what? This is Rookie's world, and we're just living in it. Well, why was he single all this time, huh? What was the crime? Too much of a cutie patootie? Look,
Right.
to be fair, apart from the fact that Rookie is a little shy and awkward from time to time, and probably not the best guy around when it comes to social settings, at least he mustered up the courage to actually come. And I would go as far to even say this man is genuinely one of the strongest contestants on this show right now, when you compare him to some of the other guys that are about to pull up, because contestant number 2 is a force to be reckoned with. Okay, so the second guy to enter into the scene is George. Now, when George first stepped foot into the arena, we can already tell.
I kind of want to watch more of this later. If I come back to it, I'll come back to it. But I'm skipping around a bit because it's a fucking 1,000 degrees even at night, and I'm too fucking hot to be comfortable. My fucking chair sucks. No, life sucks a little less than it used to, but still. Let me look up some more lolcows. Let's skip to
The autistic British gamer acting as
let's skip to James Stephanie Sterling, which is funny.
a consumer advocate on YouTube.
I know who that is, and I've covered them. I haven't covered them, but I've seen this their story in real time, and it's pretty funny.
the content of the past, from the likes of Yahtzee Croshaw, Total Biscuit and Jim Sterling, is something I look back at quite fondly. Some people will have criticisms of them, I am sure, especially for Sterling, but on the whole, these people were seen as honest, independent creators willing to dig their heels in when it came to advocating for the consumers of video games. And I'm more than willing to consider that I may have a rose-tinted pair of nostalgia goggles on, but I see it now a decade ago as a much better time for gaming and the discourse surrounding it. Nowadays, Yahtzee is still doing his thing. He seems to have a good reputation and be an honest and respectable guy. Then there's Total Biscuit, who is sadly no longer with us.
Cancer fucking sucks, dude. It would just take the most random people. It fucking sucks.
I may not have liked his autistic screeds and his R-Traps gay controversies in his later life, but I see this as a great loss. And then there's Jim fucking Sterling's son. Now their career tells a bit of a different story. They have had a particularly unique and weird fall from grace, losing around 180,000 subs and having their reputation tarnished. Some progressive types claim Sterling's fall off is just due to transphobia, but alongside the cartoonish transition, the content took a nosedive.
The top hat kills me.
So drastic that a once well-liked figure is now dragged into the modern era as a pathetic, unwatchable and at times detestable person. But before we suffer through any of that, let's take it back to the good old days and look at Jim Sterling's entry to content creation.
Zelda fans, you're wrong, you're stupid, and your mothers didn't raise you right. Hi, I'm Jim Sterling, and I used to think that Fallout fans were the biggest fucking idiots on the planet. Then Diablo 3 was announced, and then I realised that it was Diablo fans who were...
James definitely Sterling is so hard to listen to. I'm gonna skip around to another lolcow. The Faithful Sheriff, documentary by June the King.
Those without purpose will find themselves hopeless, dissatisfied, and empty. Such feelings become so painful to bear that distractive eccentricities can become necessities. Rare is it that these habits find permanence, unshaken by ridicule or genuine criticism. This state of being can be galvanized by opposition. As such, the subject finds the denial not in themselves, but in the world, and their newfound purpose is to correct it. It is this state of being that creates infamous figures like the Faithful Sheriff, a creator that despite mounting opposition and a lack of financial motivation, has for 5 years preached Christianity and online video games aimed at younger demographics.
Oh guys, look!
Oh, is that what he's called, the Faithful Sheriff? That's so fucking cringe. I'm not. Religion is fine, but certain people who practice it are so cringe that you can tell that without their religion they'd still be just as cringe, but with something else. So it just gives them a reason to be the most annoying motherfuckers. It's certainly something.
It's a miner, and I'm talking to them. Whoa!
Most recently, the Faithful Sheriff has been widely mocked for masquerading as popular streamer The Burnt Peanut. This too, he denies.
I didn't steal anything. I'm my own person, my own peanut.
While the majority of recent coverage encompasses what some would consider the sheriff's blatant plagiarism or exploitation of his gullibility, this video aims to capture it all and understand how this all came to be. Quote, video games were my life. I was bullied much in school, starting literally in kindergarten all the way to 9th grade, where I had a tussle with a bully and actually came out on top and finally won a little respect after years of being a target. But video games was my escape. I could not wait to get home and continue with the next saga of an RPG I played. It was all I could
This is just another boogie, dude. God damn.
think about throughout the school day. Unquote. This is from a Reddit post created by Pantorius, the Faithful Sheriff's oldest alias. It is a post detailing his life and his obsession with video games, a hobby that began at 5 years of age and was reinforced throughout his childhood and early adulthood. Though he was independent for a period, he notes that he came to hard times and had to move back in with his parents, where he actively played the MMORPG Ragnarok Online. Quote, I remember them kinda making fun of me at how much I played this game. I told them, you watch. One day I'm going to meet my wife on this game. My thinking was that any girl that loved to play this game as much as I did would be a nice wife to have. While some years later, still playing this game, that's exactly what happened. I met my wife on that game, and here we are 10 years later with a 3-year-old happily married." Unquote. Pantorius explains that before they had a child, he and his wife would play video games for hours and hours a day together. For some time, their family was doing well. His wife was earning a decent sum from a marketing job, and he was similarly earning a living as a delivery driver for FedEx. This would not
Why does he look like the quarter? Sticking me out.
last.
I was a FedEx driver and a garbage truck driver before that, and I drove truck for a living. And I think I hurt my back.
Quote, "I lost my job at some point due to injury, and during that time, I became very frustrated with my work life." Unquote.
I found a sit-down desk job to have to be a dispatcher for a trucking company, and it's a little small family-owned company, and like basically I got in a disagreement with the son of the president, and he fired me for like arguing with the son.
With the loss of his newest job, his aversion to traditional work grew. Instead, he decided to retreat into his old hobby, video games. While Pantorius favored role-playing games and fighting games, he was interested, yet skeptical of popular games and other genres. Quote, "I thought this game, Fortnite, can't be that good. Who wants to play Minecraft while they're trying to shoot someone?" Well, that turned into me trying the game and watching a guy called Cypher PK on YouTube on learning how to be better at this very addicting game. Since at this time I was between jobs, I noticed these streamers making money just by playing games, something I've been doing since I was literally 5. The playing games part. I thought, I could totally do this. Unquote. Something in Pantorius clicked in that moment. He thought to himself that streaming is the golden ticket. It is a way to engage with his lifelong hobby while earning a living. To do this, he began to study popular streamers, not necessarily as a source of inspiration, rather as a template on what one has to do to succeed.
So I watched a lot.
1 second, guys. I'm fucking. It's 1,000 degrees in here. Jesus fucking Christ. It may end the stream soon because I'm too fucking uncomfortable. Whatever.
Lot of Cypher PK and like Tim the Tatman and like how they streamed, what they did, how they played, how to play it from Cypher, but like how to conduct yourself in a stream and like what the successful streamers did and what they look like and all that.
It was through the analysis of these streamers that a confidence grew. Pantorius thought he could not only replicate these streamers, but he could even surpass them.
I started streaming Fortnite, and my wife was like, "You're really gonna turn this into a job?" I'm like, "Hey, look, if Tim the Tatman and Cypher and all these other people are, can ignore their chat for hours and like, play."
It's called hubris. A lot of lolcows possess that, which is what makes them so entertaining. LTG especially, honestly. Pretty much everyone of them, honestly.
And do this and make that kind of money out of it. Of course I can do that. Of course I can do that.
I could do this, and better than them. I could do it better.
Boring, uninteractive, bland. These are the words Pantorius used to describe some of the top streamers of 2018. Words that derived not entirely from critique, but affirmations that the streaming field is an easy one to succeed in. His self-assuredness, his pride, would meet the cruel reality of one of the most competitive and coveted online jobs. As per his Pantorius website, even with streaming 5 days a week for 6 hours with an established schedule, he only accumulated around 1,600 followers in months of streaming as a job. These are the results of an experiment of sorts. Pantorius hypothesized that through becoming his interpretation of an entertaining and engaging streamer, through filling the shortcomings of the top streamers, he could easily climb the ranks of the streaming platform Twitch. Only reality did not seem to agree, and this disagreement went both ways. In April 2019, nearly a year into streaming, he continued to advertise himself as one of the most interactive streamers on Twitch, yet little cared to interact with him. Unrelenting, Pantorius posted on the Dayton, Ohio subreddit with "professional streamer from Dayton, Ohio." The comments largely disagreed with his claim and were displeased.
One second. One second. One second. This is kind of getting funny. 1 second. What the hell? I kind of want to go over the Reddit now. Me.
online jobs. As per his Pantoria's website, even with streaming 5 days a week for 6 hours with an established schedule, he only accumulated around 1,600 followers in months of streaming as a job. These are the results of an experiment of sorts. Pantorius hypothesized that through becoming his interpretation of an entertaining and engaging streamer, through filling the shortcomings of the top streamers, he could easily climb the ranks of the streaming platform Twitch. Only reality did not seem to agree, and this disagreement went both ways. In April 2019, nearly a year into streaming, he continued to advertise himself as one of the most interactive streamers on Twitch.
And Taurus, one of the most interactive streamers on Twitch today. And he put this on our videos? Huh? Like, our videos is so fucking generic. Like, what kind of audience are you trying to cultivate here?
Twitch, yet little cared to interact with him. Unrelenting, Pantorius posted on the Dayton, Ohio.
What? What? There's a subreddit for the fucking city of Dayton, Ohio, like, and that's where you're thinking of, like, okay, is he from Dayton? That's kind of funny. He's trying to cultivate like a audience just from his town, from his city, to watch his stream. This is really entertaining. I'm really into this. I'm gonna go over this a couple times.
Subreddit with professional streamer from Dayton, Ohio. The comments largely disagreed with his claim and were displeased with what they saw as an intrusive advertisement. Pantorius,
not sure too. 174 fade makes you professional, huh? Just roasting them. Not sure spamming your shit on a subreddit for a city that you live in is professional. It really isn't. And then he posted a comment and then deleted it. That's funny. Look, man, you can make a living. If you can make a living making Fortnite videos at an average of 20 views per video, more power to you. That's not enough to pay for it. Okay, he's just talking about
with months and months of work poured into his craft, could not find gratification for his work. He eventually submitted himself as the #1 in Dayton, Ohio solo kills in Fortnite.
What's up with Dayton, Ohio? What the fuck is... He's just slow. Some people are too mentally stunted to think creatively when it comes to where they try to advertise their stuff, where they try to progress. So they'll just copy shit. That's too funny. #1 in Dayton, Ohio, solo kills in 4, like anyone gives a fuck. In Ohio. Oh, and they locked his post. That's hilarious.
As his selling point. While this may have been indisputable, it was apparently not what viewers were seeking out. This was the end. Pantorius, a year later, was unsuccessful in climbing the ranks of Twitch. His interpretation of popular streamers was nothing more than an illusion. The stress of this conclusion was immense, not only for Pantorius, but for his wife, who had been supporting this endeavor. Quote, "My marriage wasn't happy. I felt angry a lot. You could just tell things in the house weren't right. My selfishness was hurting someone, my family. Video games had gone from a release to a burden." Unquote. When someone is met with crushing failure, when they are stripped away from excuses and other sources of denial, they have little choice but to change when faced with a grim reality. As he could not find success nor purpose in streaming, he instead turned to religion to change and save him. Quote, "I started watching sermons from all kinds of different pastors on YouTube, reading my Bible more, praying more. And finally, one day in the shower, I just gave up and prayed and said, God, show me your truth. I'm tired of being pulled in different directions. I'm tired of relying on myself. I want to rely fully on you. I know I've been selfish and not a good person, and I want to follow you completely."
Religion gives too many people an escape. Sometimes you need to be trapped. Sometimes you need to be at the bottom and claw your way out with your own hands. You can't just rely on some otherworldly force. Because yeah, it may go right, but it often goes wrong. You often end up more frustrated than before.
Completely now. At that point in my life, everything seemed okay on the outside, but it was falling apart on the inside. I vaped, drank, cussed, pornography, watched graphic shows like The Walking Dead and Handmaid's Tale, etc., etc. After that prayer in the shower, things change fast. My wife was a Christian also, but not really practicing, as I wasn't. But in a span of 3 months' time, God changed my life completely 180. When the Bible says in John 3:3, you must be born again to enter the kingdom of God, he wasn't kidding. I was literally born again from the inside out. In 3 months, he delivered me from all my sinful behavior. No more vaping, drinking, cussing, porn, self-gratifications, evil or bad thoughts, selfishness, no more video games, no more desire for my own will, but God's will. I even took my TV off the wall, and the house was void of TV except in our bedroom where we watch sermons. I am not the same person I was 6 months ago playing Fortnite. I am a new man, and I thank God for delivering me from all the worldly desires and giving me a heart that only craves him 24/7. Unquote. Pantorius may have been reborn and may have changed his hobbies drastically to fit his new lifestyle, but his arrogance remained. No longer sourced in the belief of his talents to entertain, but sourced in his belief in God and how much more knowledge he had of Christianity through his recent, intensive studying. The top comment of his Reddit post is supportive of his newfound purpose in Christianity, but also attempts to temper his sudden and alarming change, informing him that some of the hobbies he's cast aside are fine when in moderation. However, Pantorius was none too pleased with anything but words of support, to the top comment petitioning him to not abandon his hobbies entirely as he may be worse off once the high from God wears off. Pantorius, in a deleted comment quoted by a different Redditor, appears to have compared playing video games or watching The Walking Dead to other sins as a counterpoint as to why they should be avoided entirely. Quote, that's like saying murder in moderation, our word in moderation, drugs in moderation. The Bible never says it's okay to moderately follow Jesus. He wants...
Yeah, this is what happens when the retards try to study religion. It's just so many ways it can go badly, and it gives people an excuse to just be stupid, be righteously stupid. Yeah, most people are fine, but it's the bad apples that spoil the whole bunch.
100% of your attention. He gave 100% of himself to you. The least you could do is the same. Please don't be fooled by culture and tradition. Unquote. The Redditor retorts, quote, so you give 100% of your money to others? You give 100% of your food to the needy? You spend 100% of your time helping others with no concern of yourself? You're being ridiculous. Unquote. While Pantorius would not respond to these points, he would state that Satan is literally talking through that Redditor, and that his high from God would never wear off. Also in this thread, Pantorius argued with a Redditor who claimed to be a pastor, who despite citing 21 Bible verses, could not move Pantorius. In fact, Pantorius labeled this preacher a false teacher who is poisoning the minds of other Christians. As the final word, Pantorius proclaims, quote, it surprises me how many people on a quote-unquote Christian forum are saying, hey, it's okay to be in the world in moderation, or can't or won't grasp the concept of giving all of yourself to the savior of your life. Please read God's word and you come to the realization that you can't live in the quote-unquote world and be a Christian at the same time. Unquote. Pantorius was no more. Now it was Forsake the World, a newly reborn Christian streamer who used his streaming equipment for the act of witnessing. Being a witness in biblical terms is being one who can testify for the existence of God. As such, witnessing is reaching out to others to testify in favor of God's existence with the hopes to convert and save them. Though he would witness in public, such as during Halloween, to adult trick-or-treaters, Forsake the World would mainly join streams of a similar small following and jump into their chat room. The lack of an active chat would encourage the streamer to respond to the messages. Forsake the World's approach was often aggressive, condescending, and logically flawed. A common talking point he'd utilize is asking the target how they know the building they currently reside in was built at all if they did not see such a thing happen as to draw comparison to the creation of the world. Only some did, throughout their life, watch their home or other buildings being built. Even with these flaws in his talking points, he continued to actively use them through a short stint as Forsake the World and actively as Dr. Witnesser. Though the goal remained, the medium changed, or rather reverted. Quote, while he had completely stopped recreationally gaming and esports gaming after being born again, and also now condones gaming as a worldly pursuit, he felt that God was calling him to use his past experience gaming and streaming equipment to help reach those who do still game, to try to pull them out of the world and to Christ. Unquote. After just a few months separated from gaming, he returned to Fortnite once more.
Nobody else was doing that. And I thought, gamers need to hear the gospel. Everybody needs to hear the gospel. But my worry was like me going back into the worldly thing. And so I prayed about it. I talked to my pastor about it. I talked to some friends about it. And they're like, yeah, but your motive isn't to just play it for the fun of it. Your motive is to go in there and like get gamer to tell people about the gospel. And I made Dr. Witnesser. I did all this, you know, I got obviously inspiration from Dr. Disrespect, but I didn't want to copy him outright.
Dr. Winnister often wore a black shirt and sometimes an orange tie, a similar color palette to the then highly popular gaming live streamer Dr. Disrespect, who he would at times praise. After nearly 2 years of streaming, it appears something about his gimmick worked. Dr. Winnister attributes some, if not all, of his success to his uploading of short-form content, mainly to his TikTok. In a matter of weeks, his concurrent viewership jumped from tens to hundreds, a blessing and a curse, because just as he hunted for non-believers, he too was preyed upon.
The people that disrespect you, they're like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just not good.
They're haters, man. They're agents of the world. That's what they are. Okay.
Oh my god. No, bro.
Stop using his name in vain, bro.
I did not say his name in vain.
You said OMG.
Did I actually?
Yes,
Wait.
you did actually.
Oh
what a troll. I love this.
my god.
Wow, dude, there you go again. Okay. Nice.
What? Shut the up, dumbass.
Yeah. Hey, you fucking dumb fuck. Like, this is what happens. I feel there's certain things that you should learn in high school. And the number one rule is not to be a dumb fuck. Fucking not to get picked on. Did you not learn how to not get picked on? You're such a target right now. Like, it's too I really have to like make an essay on it. I gotta find some time to put into words, but when you're so easy to pick on with such like retarded shit, talking about, oh, you can't, don't say that, dude. You just use God's name in vain. Don't say that. Shut the fuck up, dude. We're playing a game. Shut the fuck up, dude. What do you think was gonna happen? That shit is too funny.
His name in vain, bro.
I did not say his name in vain.
You said OMG.
Did I actually?
Yes, you did actually.
Yes, you did actually. Oh my god.
Wow, dude, there you go again. Okay. Nice.
Shut up, dude.
Shut the up, dumbass.
Facts.
You
Wow.
It turns out there are a lot of evil, toxic people out there.
Shut up.
And I got just bombarded by those people.
I don't know. You might need. I don't know if we can res you. You might want to call God to come resurrect you.
Hey, that's not funny. If you don't turn from your wicked ways and repent and trust in Jesus, you're gonna die and burn in hell and cease to exist and turn to ash. That's not gonna affect anything you think about.
I don't care what you.
What if I could prove to you God's existence?
Go for it.
So you know that house you're in right now?
Sure.
How do you know there was a builder?
Like, secondhand embarrassment. Like, I gotta find if this guy still streams. I think I just found a new lolcow.
Because I saw him build it.
I do that. Yes, that's me.
Oh my god!
Hey.
What the hell?
Don't.
How?
What
the hell?
Wait, what the hell?
You can't just sit there and
How?
start.
Wait, are you live streaming or what?
You can't just sit there and just start busting out, taking his name in vain and stuff like that. Come on.
Holy! Oh my god!
Stop taking his name in vain, dude.
Although trolls would actively seek him out, as they likely also made up a fair portion of his audience, they hardly discouraged him or barred his path. It was not until, on or around July 12th, that he'd meet his most vicious opponent to date, a Muslim child that challenged his beliefs.
Yeah, well, I'm denying that because usually what you're talking about, since you're American and Christian, since the Muslim culture, we don't really talk about that.
Yeah, you don't talk about it because they don't want to believe it. That's why. So look, if you were to die in your sins today, you would be sentenced to hell. And God, the living God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God that created the earth in 6 days and rested on the seventh, he is telling you that the only way to heaven is by turning from your sins and trusting in his son who died for your sins. That's what God teaches.
This interaction was posted by user Chelsea Harwood to YouTube and Twitter, who tagged both Twitch and Twitch support in their tweet, asking Twitch to set a boundary as they are responsible for hosting him. The description of the YouTube video is more up to date than the Twitter post, as it also reflects his banning and the reason for it. Quote, Dr. Winneser, a former Twitch streamer, has been banned for telling this Muslim child he was going to hell since he didn't believe in Jesus Christ or follow Christianity. Unquote. The comments on this video note how the child won the argument. Dr. Winneser will later note how fierce and knowledgeable this child was as a reason for why he showed little restraint.
But this kid who is Muslim was very informative of the Islam religion. And I was like, okay, this kid knows some things. So I talked to him with a manner of respect, as in like this, I'm not going to treat him like a 5-year-old. I'm going to treat him like he knows what he's got his big boy britches on. I'm going to treat him like a big boy. I told him exactly what the Bible says. And the Bible says that if you don't turn from your sin and trust in Jesus, your destination is hell.
Displeased with Twitch's ruling, Dr. Winneser threatened to post about his banning to his 251,000 followers on TikTok, believing that this is Twitch speaking against Christianity. But this ban was not permanent, and after a week, his channel was restored. When he came back, his viewer numbers were hardly affected. For a period, they even increased, nearing 1,000 concurrent viewers before falling to around 300 and then into another suspension.
And so they would ask me these questions and I would tell them the truth. I would say, hey, the Bible's clear, it's a sin, and 1 Corinthians 6 verse 9 says, no homosexual would enter the kingdom of heaven. And I'm not saying this is
just baiting him into getting his own Twitch ban. Like, what a fucking dumbass, dude. Like, what a fucking tard.
Is what the Bible says.
This suspension began around October 2020 and resolved in the first week of November. While his Twitch channel had stagnated, he had become somewhat notorious in the content creator scene, often being referred to as that preacher that talks to kids in Fortnite. Sometimes even just his physical qualities were used as a point of comparison.
Oh, you look like the skinny Dr. Witnesser.
Dr. Witnesser.
Yeah, he talks about Jesus and nobody likes him.
At the start of 2021, according to Dr. Winneser, came a trial of faith and testing. Quote, by a trial of public opinion and political correctness, Dr. Winneser was permanently banned from Twitch after struggling with massive amounts of trolls reporting him for any perceived slight or clip they could twist out of context. Some might argue that this is evidence that it was not God working to reach people after all, or that they won over God. Otherwise, why did God allow Dr. Winneser to get perm banned? Unquote. As a response to the new indefinite ban, Dr. Winneser took to Twitter to express his frustration with Twitch, claiming they are a biased, hypocritical organization with an agenda they shove down everyone's throats.
The thing that sucks about being like a fucking nerd, like annoying fuckhead, is that when bad shit happens to you, most people just don't care. You know what I mean? You need some kind of like goodwill amongst like a certain amount of people for so if you get banned people can give a fuck.
He also states he is taking time off to plan his next move. As he had done in the windows of prior suspensions, he streamed on the cryptocurrency-based live streaming website DLive to a smaller audience of around 40 concurrent viewers. Even with a smaller audience and following, Dr. Winneser continued to find ways to anger the masses. When an 18-year-old TikToker took their life, while acknowledging the tragedy of a life lost, he is clear about her not being in a better place, as taking your own life is breaking God's law, reassuring everyone that this TikToker did not love God and they were not entering those gates. Among the growing opposition of Dr. Winneser and his interpretation of the Bible was Gaming for Hope, an infamous Christian content creator that has the desire but not the ability to become a pro video game player. He is often criticized for his own critiques directed at his teammates while being seen as the weakest member of the team. In this video uploaded on March 1st, 2021, titled Dr. Winneser, A Bad Example, Gaming for Hope criticizes Dr. Winneser's approach to witnessing, believing it to be fear-mongering, aggressive, and ineffective. Gaming for Hope states that he has reached out to Dr. Winneser on multiple platforms and has not received a single response. One of, if not the most bewildering aspects of this video is the shirt Gaming for Hope is wearing that in bold and capitalized letters reads porn. In the comments,
That is very funny.
For Hope, in his own pinned comment, explains that this was the result of erroneous framing. The shirt in its entirety, according to Game for Hope, reads, "Porn kills love." The following day, YouTube channel Froge uploaded a video that archived Dr. Winneser's recent opinion on the N-word, namely the version that ends with an A. He argues that the clip in where the streamer Symphony apparently said the N-word with an A should be acceptable for all to use, if not used in a derogatory.
See, I use the word nig, not nig. They get to say it all the time. Oh shit, this is too funny.
Derogatory way.
And it's like no one comes down hard on Eminem or
Right?
or some other white boys out there.
Guys, I'm basically Eminem. Me and Eminem are like the same person. So yeah, yes, I can say it, is what I'm saying.
For saying the soft A word to their colored friend.
The soft A word. He can't even get it out. This white chubby fucking, who does he look like? It's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't fucking. Like the fucking kid from GTA 5, Michael's kid. What's that? Michael's son off of GTA 5.
Friends?
Dr. Winneser and several more tweets continue to argue in favor of his initial argument, eventually stopping by posting a clip of Family Guy that reminded him of these recent happenings. Unrelated to these tweets or Game for Hope, and a day later, Dr. Winneser announced that he was seeking legal representation to fight his indefinite suspension from Twitch, claiming the banning was religious discrimination and that he would not waver from his pursuit of justice. On March
Hello to you as well, Jason.
4th, the following day, he claims he spent his day on the phone and answering emails from lawyers. It is important to note that Dr. Winneser had, even with a considerable following, been rejected 3 times from Twitch's partner program, a fact that he cites as a sign of Twitch's bias against him. The announcement of the lawsuit gained the attention of news publications like Business Insider, that while spreading the news of the lawsuit, also made it a point to inform readers through the contents of the article and the headline that he told a Muslim child he was sentenced to hell. By March 7th, Dr. Winneser gave up not only on the lawsuit, but also on his online identity. Quote, Dr. Winneser will discontinue on all avenues and will no longer be active in the gaming industry, including dropping the pursuit of a lawsuit against Twitch, unquote. Being too close to the world was one of the cited reasons that influenced his decision, and though he may have been abandoning his identity as Dr. Winneser, he was not abandoning content creation. Instead, rebranding as a new, news-focused channel, he will grow entirely detached from his previous identity. Although Dr. Winneser would fail to retire his identity, returning to content creation just 3 months later, he did make good on recentering his channel through coverage of news, and now through the newly created Dr. Winneser Show, which served as his podcast.
Welcome to the Dr. Winneser Show.
Who the fuck is watching this, bro? Who the fuck is watching some fat tard fucking argue with kids about religion all day, dude? Like, get the fuck out of here.
As a Christian and a Seventh-day Adventist, Dr. Winneser has dedicated his life to use his God-given talents to spread the gospel.
In the first episode of the Dr. Winneser Show, Dr. Winneser recounts his story as a content creator and deems Twitch an anti-Christ organization. There appears to have been a period of reflection, as he publicly apologized to YouTube, Twitch, and the Muslim child for how he conducted himself in the past. And though he is not apologetic for his statements, he is regretful for how he delivered his message. A part of him was softening his approach and perhaps considering a return to witnessing in Fortnite. By October, Dr. Winneser had made his return, not to Twitch as his band stood, but to Fortnite. Although his approach had hardly changed, the interest he once generated through it had. Furthermore, his original Dr. Winneser TikTok and the one he had made to replace it were both banned. Without sufficient interest gained from short-form content, without Twitch as a stable and popular platform to gain and maintain exposure, his words reached very little outside of his captive teammates. This was remedied with a rebranding to Edward Preach and the newly established Edward Preach TikTok in April 2022. His approach to witnessing was virtually the same. So too was the approach of those that sought him.
Why would I be a fan of Charles Darwin? He's the one that imagined evolution.
You ever play like Pokemon? Like my Pikachu is like a stage 2 and then he evolves into a Raichu, and that's evolution.
I have a particular set of skills.
Taking it without flinching.
I got his bitch ass. Bang.
No, I go into games and I teach people about the Bible, bro.
With a return to form and actively capitalizing on those targeting him, his channel grew steadily throughout 2022. In April of the following year, Edward Preach was on Twitch with the hope that through a rebrand, Twitch would not ban this new channel. Edward Preach's gamble worked and he remained on the platform, but only for 2 days before Twitch staff noticed of their own accord, or the more likely case, his channel was mass reported as he was actively advertising it through his TikTok. Inexplicably, shortly after this ban, he created an additional TikTok also under the name Edward Preach. Also inexplicably choosing a soy jack of his visage as a profile picture. As to add to the perplexing nature of this Edward Preach account, he was no longer uploading as Edward Preach in his videos, but once more as Dr. Winneser. A rebrand that took place across his social media, yet still the Edward Preach TikTok remained unchanged. This time more than just his branding changed. Not only was he still actively targeted by detractors, he too had the express goal to unsettle others.
I'll tell you the reason why I came back to Fortnite is because I really like, it may be wrong for me to say this, but I really like triggering the haters. When they're like, I can't believe he's teaching kids in Fortnite about Jesus. I just get a rise out of seeing the haters and see how much they hate me going into Fortnite and teaching people about the Bible. It's extra funny when people are like, oh, what? He's indoctrinating children? You know, like, it's funny.
Shortly after expressing this goal, his arguments shifted to hotly debated subjects such as the newly released film, What is a Woman? His opinions on the matter were rarely welcome. His Twitter post advertising his video discussing it accumulated over 1,000 more comments than likes, and even his YouTube community post was met with almost nothing but ridicule. Dr. Winneser appears to have embraced his infamy, even promising to not make any brand changes from here on out. Shortly following this announcement, he took to TikTok to compare homosexuality to murder, twice.
We as a society are we're promoting this. We are promoting a sin that is equal to murder.
Not too soon after, Dr. Winneser expressed his frustration with being called an N-word.
Sound like Nate, low-key.
Yeah, but I'm not a bro, so don't call me one, please.
You're a bro?
I'm white, don't call me the N-word. I'm not one. As you can see, the word I said was
Though he may have succeeded in gaining notoriety through controversy alone, he failed to generate any long-term interest. In the following months, his uploads slowed from daily to nearly monthly. His uploads may have continued at this trajectory if it were not for the unexpected. On January 16th, 2024, Dr. Winneser announced on TikTok that he had resubmitted his unbanned appeal to Twitch, and that they had accepted it. Typically, when Dr. Winneser is unbanned, he tempers his approach to content creation. Rather than his opinions being the source of the contention, he questioned others and they deliver the opinion that he could passively agree with.
Should biological males be allowed to compete against biological women?
No. Bodies are built differently.
Yeah, that's why we don't have male MMA and female mixed together.
You know? Man, you know, that would be tragic. Hasn't that already happened?
Just because you put lipstick on a pig doesn't make it something else. It's still a pig.
Not wrong. Trump or Biden?
Oh, Trump, 100%. I like cheap gas.
Right.
Somehow, even his questions on the election were contentious.
That age horribly. Also, the lowest form of content is finding other tards and asking them like the most basic questions and then acting like it's like crazy, like, oh, whoa, like this is just another quartering, this is just another fat tard neckbeard that found some ishi stick and just going along with it. It's too funny.
Enough that some of his videos on TikTok were taken down, as seen by this comment where Dr. Winneser demeans the users who reported it by calling them snowflakes. Dr. Winneser was not entirely focused on asking contentious questions. He was still partly attempting to witness in Fortnite.
Do you want to talk about it? You got any questions? Maybe you got, some questions about God or the Bible or anything?
No.
We're talking about Bibles and not fighting.
Yeah, like shut up.
I'm not a bro, okay? So don't call me one.
Shut up,
I'm
nigga.
2 points, bro.
I am a white individual.
No one gives a fuck,
so I think
nigga.
it's rude for calling somebody that
like you. you become such a target when you just act like such a fucking tard. I don't know how else to say it. Like, I've met people like this, and it's hard not to bully them. It really is. It's hard not to pick on certain people, because it just triggers something in me. Something vicious, something mean. I just wanna fucking... Whatever. Let's keep
The N-word, okay?
Dr. Winneser's methods of conversation were as effective as they have always been. Newly added was an even deeper sense of pride to where he'd gloat about his discoverability.
Track of how many kills you have.
I just know we weren't supposed to listen to you.
I'm Dr. Winneser, buddy.
That's 3.
Can you Google your name and have it come up with somebody? I don't think so.
Yeah, you can YouTube my name. I got 140,000 views on the video.
I have over 1 million views on a video. Watch what you say. Do you have 100 million views on TikTok? I don't think so. This guy has no idea, chat.
Being an airhead about your popularity as an annoying fat tard is next level. Like, you're popular because you're annoying. Like, literally the annoying orange bragging about his fame. That's too funny.
You talking about chat? Who you talking to? Your 3 people?
Okay, bro. Google Dr. Winneser. Go ahead.
How about to Google no Dr. Winster? You sound like a Dr. Pedophile.
Yeah.
Ask any of your class members that you're in right now, like that are around you, if they've heard of Dr. Winneser.
Why?
Just ask them.
No, thank you.
Why not?
Because you sound like you're like a pervert or something.
I sound like I'm a pervert.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. Like, this is a bad look, man.
Although these comments may have been made by those unaware of his infamy, those that knew him well would often deem him a predator in the informal sense of actively seeking out children to prey upon. While the term is not fitting and exaggerated, this title would be one of the few that would get a rise out of him, and so it was weaponized and increased the efficiency of trolls. And though Dr. Winneser started 2024 particularly impassioned through his Twitch unbanning, TwitchTracker.com shows that his interest in streaming only came in short bursts. He'd stream nearly daily for weeks at a time, to then be absent for months on end, perhaps also opting to stream on rival websites such as Kick.com. One of the few things to remain consistent was his interest and defense of Dr. Disrespect, the only streamer that he watches, as some commenters would take note of the similarities between Dr. Winneser's name, transitions, and game selection. Dr. Winneser would make it clear that he and his name was not entirely inspired by Dr. Disrespect, claiming that he originally sought the name Winneser, but could not find a version with a prefix that was not already claimed, hence Dr. Winneser. While some took umbrage at the uncanny similarities, the biggest point of contention was his opinions of Dr. Disrespect's recent scandal, namely the one where it was revealed that, in private messages several years prior, he had spoken to a minor, which was why he was permanently banned on Twitch. And through Dr. Disrespect's own words, the conversation quote-unquote sometimes leaned too much in the direction of being inappropriate. Dr. Disrespect claims nothing illegal happened in these messages, though some would come to his defense, claiming that the messages were never made public, thus could have leaned towards innocent banter. This same fact was used against him, as these messages could be far worse than Dr. Disrespect leads on. While he would continue to stream on alternative websites, his contemporaries largely disavowed him and his actions. Dr. Winneser, as a longtime supporter, argued in favor of Dr. Disrespect, believing he should be forgiven. He, like many of those supporting Dr. Disrespect, argues that the contents of the messages between Dr. Disrespect and the minor perhaps were light banter. He'd also equate Dr. Disrespect's infidelity to lying, as under God's eyes, they are both still sins. Separately, and around this time, up-and-coming streamer Sketch was revealed to have been involved in homosexual pornography. While Sketch showed himself to be greatly stressed from his history leaking, he received a great deal of support from his community and contemporary streamers. This greatly perplexed Dr. Winneser.
Alright, well here's the thing. This is what I'm...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it makes it look sus that you'll cover Dr. Disrespect, but then go after this dude. While, like, it's just pretty much, cherry picking. People can pick up on cherry picking.
I don't get about the whole Sketch situation is God says that what he did is is an abomination. Like you said, he turned from his ways, and he said he was sorry, right? But still, what he did was heinous and an abomination in God's eyes, right? And everybody's all like, oh, it's okay, it's all right, who cares? It's not a big deal. But then when Dr. Disrespect, supposedly, because we don't know what he said in the text, and we just know what these Twitch employees say, quote unquote, texted a minor inappropriately, okay? But according to him, it was just, yes, he was whispering a minor, and sometimes it would lead in the direction of being inappropriate. Now, we don't know exactly what was said, and I'm not defending him. And everybody's piling on top of this guy and trying to, and effectively ruined his reputation to oblivion, right? What he did wasn't even committing a crime, according to the law. We don't even know the details of what was said, and everybody's chastising this guy. But here we have Sketch, who is full-blown. We got videos and photos, and him doing this thing that, according...
Yeah, but one's not a crime, though. Huh? This is what happens when you're a low IQ tard. And you just say shit, dude. I've seen this so many times. It really is IQ.
To God is an abomination, and everybody's just like, oh, it's okay, it was in his past.
The commenters, assuming that Dr. Winnesser views pedophilia as a lesser crime under God's eyes than homosexuality, posted various sizes of digital data storage as to imply how much illegal material Dr. Winnesser has on his computer. Quote, 50 gigabytes minimum, 8 terabyte minimum, 50 terabytes minimum. Unquote. As Dr. Winnesser continued to speak in favor of Dr. Disrespect and continued to speak to children Fortnite, these numbers near uniformly increased and now up to 100 terabytes. Though Dr. Winnesser appears to see controversy and does not entirely mind his image being sullied, he had grown particularly frustrated with the implications that he is a sexual predator.
Was this the same guy that defended Dr. Disrespect? It's disgusting, honestly. So yeah, I'm gonna use my brain, not like only the 2 cells of the brain cells that you're using, and you're just following all the the yappers on the internet and just going along with the predator train because you don't like him. Just like everybody who doesn't like me labels me the same thing.
On Twitter, Dr. Winnesser was persistent in attempting to mend the image of Dr. Disrespect, yet even his most generous imaginings of what Dr. Disrespect and the minors' conversations were met with overwhelming denouncement. Between the start of 2024 and the middle of 2025, Dr. Winnesser tweeted well over 100 times at or in discussion of Dr. Disrespect. With his dedication to his favorite streamer unwavering, there was a piece of him that felt dissatisfied. This is why, sometime in 2025, he rebranded. He was back to being Edward Preach. Quote, why, you may ask? Well, I've always felt that Edward Preach name brand was more chill and fitted my personal style more than the shirt and tie. Dr. Winnesser, same person, same mission, just new look. Unquote. Edward Preach specifically cites in this post that there is a certain number of negative connotations when people see the name Dr. Winnesser as an additional reason as to
no fucking shit, asshole. With what I've just seen, no fucking shit. I can imagine
why he was rebranding. By late 2025, he was back under the name Dr. Winnesser. As per this post captioned, telling a second grader Santa's not real, hashtag Fortnite.
In 4th grade, people were saying that Santa Claus isn't real.
Why are you talking to kids about Santa Claus? What? And then telling them it's not real. Like, what? That's weird.
That your parents just bring you the presents.
Yeah, that's actually true, unfortunately. And that's another lie, and that people do spread.
Dr. Winnesser appears to have once more embraced infamy and was showing his appreciation of Dr. Disrespect by posting his reaction to Dr. Disrespect reading a message he sent through a donation.
Dr. Winnesser, thank you for the $10, Doc. I'm 20 minutes deep in some spice, hot, acidic, goosebump-driven diarrhea, and I ran out of toilet paper. I'm installed.
Yeah, you just block people like this. I've wanted to say this, but there are certain people that are just so cringe and unsociable that there's just no helping them. Like, how do you send this type of message and expect me to be like, oh, dude, thanks, man? That totally just wasn't a waste of time, me reading that bullshit that you just put in my chat. Get the fuck out of here. I'd block him immediately. Like, this like 5th grade level tar dribble about, oh, I need new toilet paper. I just had diarrhea. Like, shut the fuck up, man. Like, am I, what are we in the 2nd grade? Get the fuck out of here, you fucking loser tard. I don't want to hear this shit. Like, like, the internet, yeah, has a lot of benefits, but goddamn, do you just meet people you were just never supposed to meet?
102 in the arena. Can you send Alex in to toss me a roll? Alex is not here today. You're in shit out of luck.
Bro, that was so worth it. Didn't you get exposed for talking to minors? Yes, I talk to minors all the time in Fortnite. So what?
The latter clip would be utilized against Dr. Winnister under this name and any of his future iterations.
Yeah.
As for Dr. Winnister's donation, it turned out to be one of many in just the month of September and October of 2025.
Dr. Winnister with the $5 donation. Doc just got back from getting
Hey man, I'm not listening to any more of that hard shit, dude. Skip.
Favorite streamer and tweeted at or mentioned him countless times, he still has to pay to get any sort of attention from him. By late October 2025, Dr. Winnister, as he had done throughout the years, had shown interest in other streamers, yet rarely, if ever, placed their entertainment value as equivalent to Dr. Disrespect. That was until he found the Burnt Peanut, a VTuber with a simplistic peanut model that, as Dr. Disrespect does, appeals to an older audience base.
That guy is so hilarious. There is nobody else on the internet like that guy. The Burnt Peanut. Can we talk about him for a second? He is, he is probably one of the most entertaining streamers out there. Him and Dr. Disrespect.
Praise from Dr. Winnister typically amounts to mimicry. This turned out to be the exact case, as the purpose of this clip was to showcase his Burnt Peanut impression.
Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night.
As God once answered his prayers when
That level of like comedy, quote unquote comedy, makes me want to punch you in the face. It makes me want to hurt you. Don't ever do that shit around me. Otherwise, I will pick on you physically. Like those kind of people, I just don't let around me, to be honest.
prostrating himself and showing utter devotion, so too was he blessed by the Burnt Peanut. The Burnt Peanut had seen Dr. Winnister's impression and had gone so far as to leave a like on his Twitter post. Dr. Winnister screenshotted this and captioned the image only with a single emoji of utter joy. Dr. Winnister did not shy away from speaking about his favorite streamers. He also did not shy away from speaking of his least favorites. Still, in October of 2025, popular streamer Emeru was assaulted at a meet and greet at TwitchCon. The conversations that emerged were most notably on the lack of security at TwitchCon and how she was allegedly not allowed to bring her own security guard to the event, a scandal that was used to exemplify Twitch's lack of care for the streamers and their overall incompetence as a company. However, this was not the conversation Dr. Winnister was interested in having. In response to a tweet about TMZ's coverage of the scandal, Dr. Winnister tweeted, quote, "Streamer Emeru, who uses her body for views, gets expectedly assaulted at convention. There, I fixed it," unquote. Dr. Winnister made sure to correct himself. Quote, "By the way, I didn't call her a whore. I said she dressed like one. And not all the time, but most of the time," unquote. These tweets did not get much attention. That much could not be said about this TikTok video where he expressed his opinions in detail.
Hello? You're gonna pretend that dressing like this isn't gonna draw freaking weirdos to you and that you're not part of the problem? I mean, the only reason why men like this are watching you is because you're dressing like this and parading yourself online.
I'm gonna just point out that it's mostly an attention-seeking take. Like, there's no way he didn't know, like, this wouldn't... Like, this is a horrible take, but it's just for attention. That's pretty much it. It's just an attention whore take.
Fine. Period.
Following some backlash, Dr. Winnister would again clarify his statements.
I didn't say she deserved it, and I didn't say it was her fault. I said that what she's wearing and how she dresses isn't helping to not attract these weirdos that do these kind of stupid things.
The following day, Dr. Winneser apologized through a tweet and TikTok, stating that his comments were insensitive and idiotic. This scandal was one of many scandals tacked onto Dr. Winneser's history, and there was more to come, as he was streaming far more frequently in the last quarter of 2025. With his increase in streaming came an increase in coverage of him. Although the coverage was disparaging as it always had been, the approach and intent was different. Previously, videos mocking him leaned into discussion of theology or morals. These TikToks were made for amusement, mockery, and gave Dr. Winneser the worst image possible.
I'm gonna find these TikTok guys, and I'm gonna try to cover them next stream.
Hey, what's up? Nice fart.
Hello?
Yo, what's up, Doc? Long time fan. Just want to know, when did you know you liked kids? Oh. Wow.
Those TikToks were uploaded by Dr. Chuddy.
I'm gonna follow him. It's like
As the name suggests, the account only hosts videos meant to mock Dr. Winneser, though there are videos, mostly of infamous stream clips, that are edited to give Dr. Winneser a bulbous nose. There are some that are entirely fictionalized, such as videos that contain several images of Dr. Winneser with infamous child trafficker Jeffrey Epstein, Diddy, and the Prime Minister of Israel. Chud is a pejorative that some believe to have originated from the 1984 movie of the same name, standing for cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers. Chud has resurged as internet slang similarly used to describe often those with right-leaning political views as subhuman. The Chudjack, the crude depiction of a particularly unfortunate-looking mass shooter, has also popularized the term. In essence, Chud is used interchangeably with subhuman, or can be used to describe any unfavorable trait. It is also often used in comedic, self-depreciating comments such as "fuck my stupid Chud life." Dr. Winneser did not know what the word meant, and sought to understand it.
Do you know what a chud is?
A what?
A chud.
Yeah,
what,
I do.
What is a chud? Can you explain it to me? Well, what if someone called somebody else a chud? What's the meaning in that?
Oh god, I have no idea.
Though he did not know the meaning of the word, Dr. Winneser immediately embraced it by nicknaming himself Chudster. In this specific tweet, Chudster is reminding the burnt peanut to not use the Lord's name in vain. And in this tweet, Chudster is far more direct, with attempting to catch the peanut's attention with what appears to be a response to a comment the peanut made about Ohio. Quote, "At the burnt peanut. On TikTok alone, I've gotten over 7 million views in the last 60 days, and guess what? I live in Ohio. There are indeed people here, good sir. We exist." Unquote. If the burnt peanut did view this tweet, he may have been dissuaded to respond by the comments underneath it. Like this tweet, where Chudster is seen next to Adolf Hitler, presumably concocting battle plans. Chudster, looking to find a unique and catchy name for his own community, pulled for options. The Chudsters won by a landslide. Fittingly, Chudster's first event of note in 2026 was sparked by his disapproval of rap music and the words found within.
Don't say that. Don't say bitch. Don't say any of that stuff. Speak eloquent, nice, graceful language.
Nigga, fuck you. You fat fucking fat tard. Fuck you. Take that beanie and shove it up your ass. You fat fuck.
Okay.
2 days later, on January 14th, Chudster apologized for saying both the N-words ending in A and ER on stream. In his apology, he clarifies he doesn't feel like he needs to make it, and that he only used the words in an informative/educational manner. But not exactly, because he also admits to using the words for comedic purposes as to trigger the 100% white community. The following day, he played with someone who is black and asked if he could say those words if they were used in a non-derogatory manner. The player agreed that Chudster could say them in such a way. Chudster paraded this clip and the approval found within on Twitter. Chudster's exchange with the Fortnite player and clips of him saying the N-word could be seen in a new wave of TikToks that also captured his ever-growing infamy that was now rivaling the attention he received in 2020. As Chudster was growing ever more infamous, so too was the fanbase of the Burnt Peanut. Following his rapid growth, various TikToks and other short-form videos were made expressing the obsession some fans had with the Burnt Peanut, and also the strange and parasocial habits some of his fans have. Additionally, any rapidly growing figure will inadvertently flood the media.
Just another something about this phenotype disturbs me. Is it fate to just be a schlubby white dude who's into literally like retard slop, like goy slop? I don't know what it is.
Media feeds of those that the content does not appeal to, often to the point that counter content is made to express the fatigue that this overexposure has caused. This explains why his accolades and those celebrating them bring the ire of others, not only because of his overexposure, but also because the Burnt Peanut won VTuber of the Year via the Streamer Awards, an award normally given to anime-style VTubers, a decision that caused friction between the Peanuts fanbase and the traditional VTuber fanbase.
Yeah, no one gives a fuck about either. Both of you are fucking losers. Like, the anime ones are fucking weird to begin with, and then the peanut ones are just retarded. Fuck out of here.
This controversy likely inspired this tweet from the comedy duo Super Mega, who attached a penis onto the Burnt Peanut's avatar as to pass it on as if it was the image used to represent the Burnt Peanut during the award show. This is an example on how, in the right hands, controversy could be utilized for comedic purposes, channeling not the ire of others, but the absurdity of a situation. Ultimately, few would ever desire to redirect the ire of others to themselves. Then again, some desire to be persecuted.
What happened? I fell asleep watching the Bugulator, okay? And I fell asleep, I woke up like this, okay? I'm telling you, I don't know what happened!
The Bungulators are the Burnt Peanuts pseudo-faction in the extraction shooter Arc Raiders. Chudster was not only expressing that he is part of the Burnt Peanuts faction, he was also virtually using the same peanut model, going as far as to directly mimic his movements and cadence. Chudster even fictionalized a backstory that begins with this podcast, a podcast that had Gingy as the guest. Gingy is a female streamer who sometimes collaborates with the Burnt Peanut. This is how Chudster knows of her. After viewing the podcast, Chudster made his own video in where he expressed that Gingy is boring. Gingy made the crucial mistake of responding to Chudster by commenting on his video. Chudster deleted the video soon after. The most non-paid attention Chudster has received in the past from a larger streamer beyond unprompted ridicule was a like from the Burnt Peanut. Gingy placing enough effort to comment something along the lines of "thanks for the kind words" was enough for Chudster to take the plunge and rebrand himself partly for the chance of being acknowledged by his favorite streamer. As far as his backstory goes, he claims the Burnt Peanut turned him into a peanut for insulting Gingy, and the only way to revert his curse is for the Burnt Peanut to verbally acknowledge him. Chudster previously teased this transformation by claiming that he was involved in a horrible accident that may have left him physically scarred forever. While there were a few supporters praying for his recovery, the top comments already believed this to be a marketing ploy. This is why, after he revealed the accident was indeed a marketing ploy, he apologized to those that believed it, and also stated that he does not intend to stay a peanut because he truly believes the Burnt Peanut will eventually acknowledge him, and so he rallied his supporters.
Chudsters, I am the Chudster, and we will keep striving on with the Bible in Fortnite.
Certain people are just naturally unfunny, and it's like a permanent like -20 charisma to their stats, and it just ruins everything that they do in life. Like, this shit is making me angry at how unfunny he is. Ooh.
Are you with me, Chudsters?
Chudster's fictionalized backstory was strange for those who had the knowledge of who the Burnt Peanut is, and the esoteric knowledge of who his collaborators are. This is why when Chudster attempts to provide his backstory without the necessary context to strangers in Fortnite, they are left utterly confused.
I am tired, but I woke up with no arms and legs, so I'm a little disheveled, but I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
You don't have arms or legs, dude.
No,
how are
I
you
don't.
playing?
No, new tech. It's electrodes attached to the brain.
Well, I was about to say they have those.
Yeah, I can
controllers
control
for
my
disable-
character
well,
with
I
my
was about to say they
mind.
have-
Oh, that's you just.
Dude,
saying
this
the
guy's
thing.
lying so hard. No, you
I'm
didn't.
not- What do you mean lying? I have no arms and legs. I'm a peanut. I'm not lying.
I'm a peanut.
He's a peanut, and he supposedly.
I woke up.
Skin on this.
I woke up as a peanut because I called the Burnt Peanut.
Shut up. Like, shut up. Like, God.
Friend Gingy, boring, and I woke up as a
Who
peanut.
are these people? What? What?
That's what I'm telling you. That's what happened. I'm
Who
not.
is the Burnt Peanut? Who is Gingy? These your friends?
The following day, Chudster returned with his slightly altered model. Instead of a magenta Bible on his left, he now had a black Bible on his right. He also added more to what was required a peanut's acknowledgement. Now the burnt peanut has to say verbatim, "Dr. Winnesser, I release you from your peanut bonds." The comments on Instagram were not supportive of this. On day 3, Chudster was more direct with his approach, now rallying his audience to tag the burnt peanut across all of his social media. Over the next 2 days, Chudster added more accessories to his model, a bandana strung across his neck and a cowboy hat. These accessories are not at all dissimilar from an outfit the burnt peanut previously wore. Soon after these came a mustache and a southern accent to the character of the sheriff. Although the accent was soon dropped, these frequent changes concluded with the changing of his name to the Faithful Sheriff across all of his social media, even extending to his gamer tag. With his transition complete, the sheriff's intentions of converting others through Fortnite remained, as did the trolls that followed him that were increasing in frequency.
What do you want to do when you grow up?
I don't know.
Alright, I guess there's nothing wrong with that. Hopefully you figure it out soon. You gonna go to college or what?
I don't know. The one thing I don't want to be is a stupid Chud streamer who posts stuff online without their permission, and my name is Dr. Chud, you fucking loser. Get off of Fortnite.
If you love the Lord, keep his commandments. That's the 3rd commandment now. Honor thy father and thy mother. Thou shalt not murder, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, and thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's things.
Thou shalt not be a chud.
Yeah, see, I told you, you're a troll.
While some would want Dr. Winnesser back, Dr. Winnesser only wanted the acknowledgement of the burnt peanut, now challenging him to a duel in the extraction shooter Arc Raiders. Peanut ignored the sheriff's request. The following day, the sheriff asked his viewers to reach out to the burnt peanut once more, and if the peanut had not acknowledged him a week from February 24th, then the sheriff would remain a peanut forever. And it appears that the sheriff himself was attempting to reach the peanut, now through the Peanut's Discord. Before he could even do so, he was banned by one of Peanut's moderators. The sheriff posted a screenshot of the conversation with a mod that led to his banning. In the screenshot, the mod, Harvey23, requested to let everyone know that it was him who banned the sheriff. The sheriff provides the additional context that Harvey23 told him that he would never collaborate with Peanut and that they would make sure of it themselves.
Yeah, you fucking... Yeah, I do the same thing. Like, what the hell's wrong with you? Like, get the fuck out of here, dude. Like, jeez, read the room.
The majority of the latter half of the tweet is the sheriff's argument as to why he is not a clone of the Peanut. The closing sentence reads, quote, "I hope Peanut sees this, and hope he sees reason and unbans me. Sad emoji," unquote. While it is unknown if the burnt Peanut saw this tweet, it is certain that he did not acknowledge the sheriff. And just a few days later, the week had passed.
Because you guys had a week to get his attention. And you can bet your butt that he saw the video because everybody was atting him like crazy. I guarantee you that he saw the video.
As the Peanut model would remain, among the accessories, there is one new and distinct difference that easily sets the burnt Peanut apart from the sheriff.
Excuse me.
Viewers of the sheriff's Twitch stream could, as with any other Twitch stream, accumulate channel points through active viewership. What these points unlock, or are able to do, vary per streamer. The Faithful Sheriff's channel points could trigger a random fart or fart bomb.
This is the level of comedy that's required to be a tard. This is... If you don't find fart jokes as the funniest thing ever, then you're not on the level of fat tards like this who think this shit is funny. Like, goddamn, I can't think of anything more unfunny. Like, no, yeah, fart jokes are fine, you know, once in a while if they're good, but to just like haha, fart, haha, like what the like.
That would cue a fart sound effect and cause the emission of a green cloud behind the sheriff's Peanut model. As an added effect, and if the sheriff was not in conversation, he would sometimes verbally strain as to make the flatulence even more immersive. As the sheriff's shorts are based off his live streams, his flatulence was now an active part of his content. Additionally, as he presumably shot his promotional videos live, they would also include the flatulence. Only here, the sheriff would make an active effort to verbally strain and interrupt himself whenever a fart trigger was purchased and activated.
We're live right.
Predator, who as per infantile and embarrassing the flatulence was, some making the connection that the flatulence. The top comments and quote tweets from this specific promotion.
That's exactly, dude. I don't think words can describe how utterly pathetic and embarrassing this is. They can't. Words literally can't describe like what the fuck you're seeing right now. Like this shit is fucking horrible.
Video would speak of how infantile and embarrassing the flatulence was, some making the connection that the flatulence was to attract children to his streams, and to that, more comments deemed him a predator, who, as per his previously stated indifference on Israel and Palestine, also believed him to be a supporter of Israel.
All these people doing trolls, it's all they're doing. It's all they're doing. They're saying, love from Israel. Oh, I support you from Israel. Israel this, Israel that. I don't support Israel.
As was with the Chud arc, new TikToks emerged that highlighted the sheriff's intolerance for anything but Christianity.
I heard people say great things about Islamic religion. How do you feel about that? Hello?
The sheriff's intolerance had always been a point of contention, and though it was previously highlighted when he was known as Dr. Winneser in how he'd kill non-Christians in Arc Raiders, due to his rebranding and the absurdity that followed it, arguably more people, through the proliferation of his clips through social media, were exposed to the sheriff than they ever were to Dr. Winneser. Furthermore, the faithful sheriff was often mistaken to be the burnt peanut, some attributing his crude remarks to the peanut. This placed him in a unique position where, through his obsession with the burnt peanut, the faithful sheriff was seen as the embodiment of the worst of the Peanuts fanbase, a position that also displeased fans of the burnt peanut, meaning fans and detractors of the burnt peanut despised the faithful sheriff. Those unaware of the distinction also despised the faithful sheriff. The sheriff reveled in his infamy.
Yeah, everyone just hates you, man. Like, you try to copy some guy who's popular that most people don't like. So when you try to copy them, the people who don't like him already just hate this new guy. And the people who actually like him just hate that you're bringing bad attention, more bad attention to someone that most people already don't like. So yeah, of course everyone hates you. That's hilarious.
His concurrent viewership jumped from an average of 50 in January to 200 in early March, then 0 because he was suspended from Twitch. While there is no specific clip cited as the reason for the ban, it is believed to be for telling a gay Christian that he's not in fact Christian because he is gay and not keeping God's commandments. Though this suspension was meant to last 14 days, the sheriff appealed it and it was overturned in less than 24 hours. The same day that he was unbanned, the sheriff joined a Fortnite game and, as he typically did, asked a child what they like to do when they grew up. While the child brought up popular public service jobs, the faithful sheriff recommended a not-so-popular job.
Man, for SWAT team.
Ooh, that's cool. Maybe we could work for ICE.
What's that?
Immigration Customs Enforcement.
Oh.
A few days later, the sheriff stated that he had turned off the ability to leave comments on videos as they had become too malicious. To this, he reminded everyone that Jesus Christ was also persecuted. While the Son of God's plights may have somewhat differed from an infamous Fortnite streamer, the faithful sheriff alleges that he had been the target of swatting and other forms of extreme online persecution. And come March 9th, a new threat emerged. A cease and desist allegedly sent by the Burnt Peanuts lawyers. This email requests that the sheriff cease using the Peanuts avatar and cease referencing or associating himself with the Peanuts brand by the spreading of his lore, using the Peanuts hashtags, and anything else that can confuse their two brands. Finally, the letter demands the deletion of all offending content across all the faithful sheriff's social media platforms. As per this tweet of the sheriff responding to the email, he claims he had to end his stream early to investigate the authenticity of it. While he quickly came to the conclusion that the email was fraudulent, the email did allow him to realize how much he had forced himself into the Burnt Peanuts brand. He was now removing the Burnt Peanuts name from his lore as to ensure his actions are not as confused with the Burnt Peanuts. However, he will not be changing his identity and is determined that he is legally distinct. Quote, "I am my own peanut, my own name, my own person, my own brand." Unquote. The following day, the sheriff tweeted a poll asking if he and the Burnt Peanuts should stream together. The final result was an overwhelming hell no. While the attached image to the failing option was the faithful sheriff's profile picture, the winning option of hell no was a noose tied around his avatar's neck. The sheriff explains that he chose that image because someone had made it and he liked it enough to display it. The sheriff has been known to like ridicule to an extent. He has been seen commending creators highlighting his use of the N-word and other edits that promote his crudeness when when exaggerating his real opinions. The opposite is also true. Comments about him having ties to Israel or being a predator particularly irk him, as do comments claiming that he is a plagiarist in how he has mimicked the burnt peanut. On March 10th, Super Mega, possibly noticing the sheriff's obsession with the burnt peanut, gave him the same treatment and attached a penis to his model, going as far to claim, quote, "The faithful sheriff asked us to recreate this image using his likeness so we can feel more included," unquote. The sheriff initially responded with, quote, "Apparently you know you've hit it big time when they do this to ya," unquote. The sheriff would appreciate the girth of the penis they selected for him, a tactful response that signals he is playing along with a joke. The responses were more direct and treated this not as a joke, a ploy to convince the sheriff that the masses believed that the sheriff in earnest requested images of his model with a penis. The sheriff was succumbing to the strategy by clarifying that Super Mega are lying and he does not even know who they are. The responses turned even more direct and accusatory in asking the sheriff why he would make such a weird request. The sheriff responded by claiming the joke is obvious and no one must be this stupid not to see it. Yet the sheriff had succumbed to an equally obvious ploy. He now edited his response to Super Mega's tweet, adding that Super Mega was making an obvious joke and that the sheriff did not even know who they are and never asked for this image to be produced. The sheriff even commented under Super Mega's original tweet, stating that anyone who believed Super Mega are a little slow because this was obviously a joke. Super Mega responded, stating that this was a request from the sheriff himself. The sheriff again denied his affiliation and now believed that someone had made the request under his identity, an idea that he finds crazy. Super Mega responded soon after with an image of a fabricated conversation used to prove the sheriff's request came from his account. The fabricated conversation reads, quote, "Hello, I'm a Christian content creator and part of the Peanutverse. I hear you guys are responsible for the burnt peanut meme where his penis is exposed. Please make a version of that epic meme for the faithful sheriff. Here's a picture of my real penis that you can use," unquote. Attached is a cut-off image only showing the upper body of a shirtless person that is only wearing black leather straps. The following morning, the sheriff returned to refute the allegations now in video form.
I never said this. I never even knew that these guys existed prior to yesterday when this post came out. Here's a picture of my real penis that you can use. Obviously, this is not me. Y'all have seen me. This person probably weighs about 170. I'm 300 pounds. Not proud of it, but that's how much I weigh.
The sheriff also threatened to sue Super Mega if they persisted. 2 hours later, the sheriff posted proof that the conversation was a fabrication and Super Mega's image lacked an element found across Twitter messages. Every time the sheriff would attempt to disprove Super Mega, he was only met with several comments claiming that it was him that was lying, at times referencing how unchristian it is to lie or request such an image. References of the faithful sheriff's penis seeped into live streams through detractors joining his games, sometimes doxing him afterwards. The sheriff himself would post these clips to his TikTok and YouTube, where the sheriff continued to actively showcase his controversies and controversial habits.
What grade you in, kid?
6th.
Okay. You liking school?
I don't know. It's boring.
Oh, guys, look! It's a minor! And I'm talking to them! Whoa! So controversial! Whoa! You could be part of the police force, you could become a firefighter, you could join ICE, the military. I heard ICE was hip and cool. Do kids care about that thing nowadays? Do they make fun of you in school if you're not as good at Fortnite as they are or something? Is that a thing?
No.
Okay, well that's good. Kids can be mean sometimes. Yeah. They call each other Chud and all that?
Yeah.
Okay. I get called a Chud sometimes. I don't even know what it means. I don't think they know what it means. Honestly. What is a Chud? Can you enlighten me? Oh, see, you don't even know.
As the sheriff continued to lean in to his less favorable sides, Super Mega was also continuing to spread their rendition of his motto periodically.
Think Joe Biden would do this? I don't think so. Do you think he'd think of it? Do you think he knows what it is?
While some attempted to convince the sheriff to hash out his grievances with Super Mega and Fortnite, he declaimed based on his morals and also his frustration with the virality of the image they created. An image that has taken life as a presumably fake tattoo that can be seen posted across any sheriff-related content. Even a keychain was made to honor the image. Super Mega was hardly the only enemy the sheriff had made. Gaming for Hope, unaware that the sheriff was Dr. Witnesser, in response to a commenter suggesting a collaboration, stated that the sheriff has has no business calling himself a Christian and that he will not be collaborating with him. The sheriff, in turn, stated that Gaming for Hope is an agent of Satan. After all, the sheriff was not at all conservative when it came to claiming those that opposed him were agents of Satan. Even claiming Curtis Connor, a creator who had made several videos on him through his several iterations, was an agent of Satan. The sheriff went into far more detail than usual when using this common retort on Gaming for Hope. Soon after, the sheriff claims he was blocked by Gaming for Hope. Even after being blocked, the sheriff continued to argue against Gaming for Hope and in favor of his own beliefs.
That's the end. He don't want to collab? Fine. But he ain't no right to tell me that I don't got no right to be a Christian when he's the one preaching the false gospel. He's the one leading people straight to hell with his actually false gospel.
Gaming for Hope's realization that Dr. Winneser and the faithful sheriff are the same person was captured in a TikTok celebrating the peculiar and history tension between the two. Among the content created to discredit the sheriff was a poll imposed by a Discord user pretending to be the sheriff. The poll asked the respondents whether they are or are not circumcised. The respondents could answer by reacting with either a scissor or umbrella emoji, respectively. The sheriff denied any association with this poll, but as the Twitter community did at large with Super Mega, the commenters doubted the sheriff as to make him more paranoid. Eventually, another fabricated poll emerged by another imposter pretending to be the sheriff. Succumbing to the onslaught and convinced that the internet believes he is both the creators of these polls and a predator, the sheriff sought to disprove the allegations by refuting them verbally and by providing step-by-step instructions on how easy it is to pose as him, unwittingly also providing a tutorial on how to create more fake polls.
Okay, I didn't think I'd have to make this kind of video, but apparently a lot of people are big morons on Twitter, on the Twitterverse, on the X-verse. People are idiots, like real big idiots. Or perhaps they don't know how Discord works. So I just mimicked the faithful sheriff. Even though this isn't what my name looks like in Discord, I'm just showing you how easily it is for somebody to fake being me, even though it's obvious to anybody that's been in my Discord that this is not me.
As the fake Discord screenshots gained more prominence, so too did this real one. It is of the Sheriff's Discord mod banning a member of the Sheriff's Discord server for being transgender, going as far to say that this user will never be a woman and will burn in hell if they do not repent. The Sheriff responded to this post only 15 minutes later, apologizing to the banned user and stating that this sort of talk is 100% not allowed on Discord, especially from a mod. For that reason, the mod was unmodded as their conduct was hateful and not representative of the faithful deputies community. Though the Sheriff's response may have won some favor from his detractors, the opposition against him for mimicking the burnt peanut and occasionally attempting to witness to children in Fortnite hardly budged. The Sheriff's infamy grew so great that Gideon, a prank channel turned predator hunter, got wind of the Sheriff's antics and was able to speak to him while they were both live. Gideon's main point of contention appears to be the Sheriff's intrusive approach to attempting to convert others, specifically children. The Sheriff would end up leaving the conversation as he believed that Gideon was implying he was a predator. Gideon would upload his perspective of the conversation, while the Sheriff would upload snippets of his perspective through shorts. The Sheriff's perspective, due to his viewers strategically spending their channel points to purchase farts and fart bombs, detracts from the conversation at hand.
So you say you have kids, right? Do you allow your kids to...
God, this shit is so cringe.
The same day Gideon uploaded his conversation with the faithful sheriff, Super Mega posted this image of a fabricated cease and desist. Within, the sheriff is supposedly furious that his messages with Super Mega were leaked. This bait was far less effective, the sheriff only denying it when asked, and not attempting to convince the internet at large of its fabricated nature. Perhaps the sheriff was growing wiser. On Twitter, he was teasing at a new arc. Perhaps he was shifting his brand away from the peanut entirely. This could all mean one step away from the path of infamy he's treaded on throughout the years. Only his rebrand was yet another peanut, this time with an anime style, even using the popular isekai anime format through AI art to create a poster that reads, quote, "Born a chud, but summoned to another world to become an unrivaled hero." Unquote. The model was initially created for a collaboration with an anime-style VTuber, but was now the permanent one, lest he rebrand again. Shortly after his rebrand, the sheriff attempted to reach out to the Burnt Peanut for a collaboration, a request that went ignored by the Burnt Peanut, and this post was hit with a community note. Quote, "The faithful sheriff has taken on his newest persona by blatantly plagiarizing the Burnt Peanut for enhanced engagement. The faithful sheriff has had controversy regarding verbally harassing children while playing video games like Fortnite." Unquote. Twitter's community note feature is meant to find misinformation that is prevalent on the website, though it is sometimes abused to express an opinion and ironically to spread misinformation. The sheriff was not happy with how the community note feature was exclusively being used to discredit him and not his detractors' claims. He would end up claiming that the community notes attached to his tweets was harassment. This too was community noted with the added context that adding missing context is not harassment. The sheriff doubled down and this too was community noted. The sheriff, for a third time, stated that the community note feature was being abused against him. Then, this community note falsely claims that the cease and desist and the private messages with Super Mega were credible, undoubtedly infuriating the sheriff. Even so, few could rival the image destruction of the sheriff himself.
And you might want to tune in because that N-word is going to be slung around like crazy today. I mean, like a lot. We're talking a lot. So come on in and watch the stream.
This promotion from the sheriff shortly following the community note arc came unexpectedly, even confusing Super Mega as they responded to the post only with a single question mark. Perhaps this is what it took to finally get the burnt peanut's attention because the burnt peanut finally responded, an act that made the sheriff tear up, not from joy but from disappointment.
I went into his stream and I said hello. Message pops up, your comment was not posted. Has a problem with this channel's moderation settings. So I put 2 and 2 together and guessed that the mods actually blocked my name. The faithful sheriff is blocked in his stream. So then coming to that realization, I said, goofy mods, or mods are so goofy blocking me, like blocking my name. I typed that in the chat and he's got like 30,000 people watching him, right? I didn't think he would see that. But lo and behold, he looks at the chat and reads what I said back. Mods are goofy for blocking me. Okay, there we go.
LOL mods, you're so goofy for blocking me. No, only I can see what you're saying. You are blocked. That is true. You are blocked, sir. Only I can see what you're saying.
So then right after, I'm typing, oh, so does this mean I can't join the server? And then right now he's like blocking me. He's banning me from the chat. Like right after that I got banned.
Even Gingy responded to the sheriff's post, stating that the sheriff is a parasocial weirdo that can't take a freaking hint. The sheriff responded by calling Gingy boring, to where Gingy responded, quote, I don't copy someone to try to make myself entertaining, unquote. To make matters worse for the sheriff, his initial post was community noted.
I'm also a racist after openly saying racist slurs on stream. So let's go to Google and ask, what does it mean? What does it mean to be a racist?
While the sheriff had failed in his goal to play with the burnt peanut, he succeeded in getting him to verbally acknowledge him. His reward for this grand quest was even more ridicule, this time from those parodying the faithful sheriff and his obsession with the burnt peanut.
And look, any of these other peanuts that believe in God, they can get fucked.
How many times do I have to tell you guys this? I did not choose to be a lemon. I was turned into a lemon by the burnt lemon.
Faithful sheriff, please turn me back.
What's up, y'all? It's the faithful combatant here.
Bro is straight up copying Burnt Gubby. We're at an all-time low. How many times do I have to tell you I was turned into a Gubby by the Burnt Gubby?
You think the burnt peanut was the first person to become a peanut? No. I've been a peanut my whole life.
As long as I was hiding behind the image of a silly peanut, my existence as a miserably obnoxious grown adult ceased to exist.
Few were committed to this bit as Twitter user MEOK was, who was shocked to be unfollowed by the sheriff. MEOK escalated this by changing their profile picture and banner to the faithful Emmy. She then shared an image of her PTuber avatar reading a Bible with the sheriff. Soon after, she was blocked by the sheriff, who stated, quote, this is a great example of someone legit copying someone else. This person is taking my exact background, my exact font, my VTuber avatar, and plunging it into AI, making a version for herself. This is copying, unquote. This is only a small section of the sheriff's tirade that also addresses Gingy and her comments about his obsession and, of course, the burnt peanut. Quote, he does not own the right to being a peanut. In fact, you could say he is copying Mr. Peanut, a well-known peanut brand name of actual peanuts. No one accuses him of doing that? Gee, I wonder why. 'Cause it's silly, that's why. I became a peanut on a whim and thought it would be fun. I kept being a peanut because I was enjoying myself. I have changed my name completely to the Faithful Sheriff to even get away from the allegations that I was copying a certain someone else for simply having the title Doctor in my name. Today, I have a completely different avatar that's full on anime VTuber now to further distance myself from copying allegations of the burnt peanut. From this point on, I am not addressing or commenting on or talking about anything to do with the burnt peanut or how I may quote-unquote copy. I know it's just a hit campaign because y'all are butthurt that someone else is a peanut now. It's actually pathetic. Unquote. This post was hit with a community note. As for Emmy, Realm Reforger on Twitter pointed out how Emmy's model and banner actually differs from the sheriff. Emmy herself requested to be unblocked to talk this out, and separately tweeted an image of her avatar kissing the sheriff's avatar with protesters in the back demanding Emmy be unblocked. As the sheriff did not respond to her request, she shed her peanut skin and officially moved on. Just as Emmy had moved on from the sheriff after being reprimanded, the sheriff too began to change after his similar experience with the burnt peanut. At the time of writing, the sheriff has recently hinted at a new furry theme model, apparently closing the burnt peanut chapter, perhaps rebranding as an entirely new, original creation, or falling back into the shadow of another popular creator. Only the latter has shown to provide him rapid but consequential growth. To some, a vilified existence is better than not existing at all.
Hunter x Hunter is finally back, but before you read chapter 411, here is everything you need to remember from the previous set of chapters. Because not only is this one of the most intricate manga arcs of all time, but those chapters came out almost 2 years ago, so I'm sure there's some things you forgot. So let's get straight into it. Okay, so we pick up on day 10 of this voyage on the Black Whale, a ship carrying 200,000 plus people toward the Dark Continent, a ship on which the Royal Succession War is taking place. And we pick up in Kurapika's room, or rather 14th Prince Wobal's room, where Kurapika is teaching his nin classes. And specifically, he is teaching Longhi. However, Longhi reveals that she doesn't need to learn nin because she's already a nin user, and she reveals her ability to Kurapika, an ability called Transparent Worlds that essentially works as a contract. Two parties can agree to something and then it's basically set in stone. However, Longhi reveals that she's not only here to create this contract, to create an alliance between her prince, which is 5th Prince Tubeppa, and Kurapika and 14th Prince Wobble, but also that she secretly reveals she is one of Beyond Netero's children. This absolutely shocks everyone, but it's only the tip of the iceberg, because Longhi reveals that Beyond Netero over 30 years ago began fathering children with Kakin military officers' wives. He did so that those children would be raised as soldiers and implanted all throughout Kakin society. They enrolled them in the military academy, trained them from birth with nin because they had their nin forcibly awakened from birth, and each one of them grew up believing that they would one day serve the next king. And Longhi is one such child of Beyond Netero. However, what she didn't know was that Beyond had embedded a death curse within her and within all of his children, because their true purpose was to die in order to inflict a curse, presumably on some of the other Kakin royals. Because Longhi also reveals that Beyond Netero is secretly the father of one of the Kakin royal princes, meaning one of the 14 in the Succession War is Beyond Netero's child. But in addition to that, dozens and dozens of Beyond's children also exist throughout society as mere pawns and sacrifices in order to kill the other princes to ensure that his child becomes king. Yes, this plot is deep and it spreads far and wide. So Longhi in this moment reveals that not only is she here to draw a contract and an alliance between Tubeppa and Wobble, but she also wants Kurapika's help to find Beyond Netero's prince child to determine which of the royals is secretly his heir, and that Longhi wants to kill that person. So Kurapika, after using his dowsing chain and determining that Longhi is telling the truth, agrees to do this. So he strikes an alliance with 5th Prince Tubeppa and agrees to help Longhi find Beyond Netero's child. Next, later that same day, still the 10th day of the voyage, we cut to Third Prince Zhang Lei's room, where one of his subordinates informs him that Kurapika...
Nah, dude, I fell asleep. Anyways, that's it.